When you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And we want students to find that passion that they have and carry that into their career. That way that it's not a job to them, it's what they love to do. And so that's not they're going to work, they're going to do what they love.
Career and technical education is a hot topic in schools these days, and not just high schools where most of the classes take place. Our guest for this episode, Principal Chris Zimmerman, led Cimarron Middle School in Parker through a process of piloting CTE classes at the middle school level this year. So if you keep listening, you'll get to hear all about that, and the main reason for this episode, that's to tell you about the inaugural Career Discovery Camp, which takes place this June 3rd through 5th at Legacy Campus. It's for middle schoolers, and as this episode is released, registration is open and limited. So if you're a parent of a middle school student who wants them to start exploring their interests and possible career passions, this podcast is for you. And as soon as you're done listening, you're gonna want to get your student registered. I'm your host, DCSD Communication Director Jason Hackett, and I've got a little hint for you. Stick around until the end of the episode to hear Principal Zimmerman share a bonus opportunity for families who register their middle schoolers for the camp. All right, we're here at Cimarron Middle School with Principal Chris Zimmerman, and he is going to tell us about a really exciting camp that is launching here in June. Let's start right from the very beginning and talk about what it is and when it is and the full title and everything for us.
Well, thanks for having me, Jason. This is a really exciting opportunity for our students. As the community knows, the Legacy Campus with our career and tech ed classes is going so well. Our high school students absolutely love going and attending those classes, getting career ready, getting certifications, getting the industry standard level of what is happening in the world. That's really cool. Now, what does this look like for middle school students? We know when middle school students know what they want to do and are prepared, then when they get out of high school, they're going to be so much further than everybody else in this community. And so we want to bring this camp to middle school students. So this is called the Career Discovery Camp. It's going to be from June 3rd to the 5th. It's a 3-day camp diving in to career and tech ed at the Legacy Campus.
How cool is that to think about? As a middle schooler, you get to start exploring a little bit and saying, I might be interested in this or that career field. I want to learn a little bit more. And here they get to, get their hands dirty a little bit with some of this stuff and experiment around with it.
And that's what middle school is all about.
Exactly.
We want kids to get hands-on experiences where they get to explore. I'd rather them figure out what they love and what they don't love right now. That way they can start to dive deeper in high school and really go into something that they know that they want.
Oh, sure. And then because of all the different opportunities at the high school level, they could start getting college credit for things. They could start getting industry certifications. They could set themselves up really, really well for college or jumping straight into a career right out of high school. And this gives them a head start then. So tell me a little bit more about the actual camp then. And first question, how much does it cost?
So the cost is $125 a student. This will include a lunch, a snack, a camp t-shirt. And like I said, it'll be on June through the 5th, around 8:30 to 2:15. So what this looks like is students will choose their top 3 classes that they want to attend out of the 7. So our 7 classes are aviation, robotics, culinary arts, architecture, Cosmo, fashion, and multimedia. And so they'll pick their top 3. We'll try to get everybody their choices that they want, and they will go to those 3 sessions every day. So it'll almost be like a little mini school schedule. They'll go to session 1, have a break, session 2, have a break, session 3. Each day then will build upon itself.
And this way they don't get necessarily locked in and they feel like, oh, maybe I'm not so interested in this one after all, and I wish I could switch or something. No, they don't have to worry about that. They pick their top 3 and they get to learn a little bit about each one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they may find out that they really love multimedia and they've never dove into that before, or aviation. And so we want them to, again, explore 3 different opportunities that they want to be possibly in as a career.
For this particular camp, then, who's instructing them and what kind of level of expertise are they getting to tap into?
So their instructors are the actual instructors that are doing this in the high schools right now. We have instructors from the Legacy campus, and then we've also brought a couple high school instructors in from the CTE courses that they're teaching at their high school. So it's a little bit of both, but they are experts in their field, and they are teaching this to high school students right now. Also, they're partnering with our industry partners out in the community and bringing those industry tools into the classrooms for our middle school students during this camp.
And speaking about industry level tools and things like that, if people aren't familiar with the Legacy campus, can you talk a little bit about what they have there and what they're teaching our high school kids and with what?
Yeah, part of the CT, the Career Tech Ed portion, is a partnership with our businesses that are outside in our community. And part of that partnership is creating an advisory board to where they are constantly collaborating and bringing those industry tools into the school. It's a partnership. And if we are keeping up with that, our businesses are really appreciating it because they're getting trained professionals out of high school sometimes into the field, and then they can take over that learning from there. So when you walk into the Legacy campus, it's an absolute beautiful building, number one. And you get to walk into these classrooms and really see what it is like and experience hands-on that learning with that field. So for example, aviation. You walk into that classroom and there are simulators lined up. There's even an actual airplane hanging from the ceiling. And those students are doing hands-on learning, flying airplanes and getting that practice in a simulator.
And for cosmetology, I'm sure we're bringing in people from our cosmetology programs at our high schools too, and they'll have all the equipment to work with everything that they need to do there too, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, and part of that, that's the teacher from Highlands Ranch. We're also opening up one in Douglas County High School. And so it's really cool to also show our students where they can go. Because it's not like when we were in school, like you stayed at one school the entire time. We have so much to offer around the school district. If you're a student, for example, at Legend, and you're really into culinary arts, you could go to the Legacy campus. If you're really into Cosmo, you could go to Highlands Ranch and still be a Legend student. And so we're also trying to teach kids that just because you're a Legend High School or Chaparral or Ponderosa doesn't mean you can't go to Rock Canyon and be a part of the fire science program.
Exactly, right. All these opportunities for students all across the district, and then a lot centralized there at Legacy campus. And you mentioned culinary and robotics too. I mean, we've got a full commercial kitchen at Legacy campus for the culinary program, and the robotics. I mean, walking through those robotics labs are
So cool.
So many things and so many opportunities. And here we've got middle schoolers that can take advantage of this and get kind of that first taste of this and really start experimenting with what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah. And here at your school at Cimarron, you've started some CTE work here. Can you talk some more about that then too?
Yeah, so this year we started piloting our career tech ed classes in our electives. We are moving into 6 different CTE courses for our students here at Cimarron and expanding this across the district to all the middle schools. And the premise behind that is really wanting students to be exploring different types of classes while they're in middle school. Therefore, they know exactly what they can take when they go into high school. And so by providing these opportunities for students, we're elevating the current elective classes. So for example, we have a drama class. All the middle schools have drama classes. We're starting to look at sound and light engineering. And so we're elevating it. What does that look like when you walk into a country concert and you see the lights and the sound? And there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into that we want to bring into our classes. We're starting an architecture and construction class next year, multimedia, STEM, innovation design, digital design, consumer family studies. All of these are CTE classes that are going to start to bridge that gap between middle schools transitioning into high schools.
Again, we keep saying it, but the earlier they can get a start on this, the more they can kind of lock in on what they like and maybe don't like and which way they want to go with things.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like that's been kind of the increase in CTE classes throughout the district. Like there's just not enough seats currently because our students really want these courses. And I think it's really cool because like you were saying, we can get so many students the credits and starting these college courses that are designed to the areas that they want to go into as a career field. And that saves thousands. It saved our families millions of dollars across the school district. And that's a really neat thing.
And have your school experience feel like it means something and matters. I'll go back to my own years and years ago going to school. So many things that we just did a math class and we had a language arts class and we had science classes. And for whatever reason, back in the Stone Age, they didn't connect those things to what you would end up using them for. So in my case, I didn't understand what all the algebra and geometry and all that stuff could be used for. It was just for assignments, and maybe some younger parents out there were fortunate enough to have teachers that connected that. But here in Douglas County and in 2026 all over the world, we've finally gotten to the point where we're helping connect careers and pathways to the education and make it have some relevance.
Right.
So that idea that they can gain some of this relevance, even starting with this camp here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
what an opportunity.
One of the premises, I heard this at a conference this last summer, and we've kind of ran with it, is this concept of ikigai. You ever heard of that?
Uh-huh.
And so it's this concept of when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And we want students to find that passion that they have and carry that into their career. That way that it's not a job to them. It's what they love to do. And so that's not they're going to work. They're going to do what they love, which is really neat. Another thing with the CTE that gets to really elevate, and this is middle schools and high schools, really elevate the experience for students, is their CTSOs, the Career Tech Student Organizations. So a lot of these are clubs and activities after school where they get to take what they've learned in the classroom and elevate it. And so, for example, like TSA, we have Skills USA for the trades. So all of these student organizations, our kids get to take what they learn, elevate it, and then potentially go compete across the state with other student organizations within CTE.
Right.
It's cool.
And to see some of those TSA competitions where they've got their robots out there and these kids have built these robots and they've programmed them, and if something breaks down, they're there fixing it right then and there in the middle of the competition. And it gives them that opportunity to apply what they're learning all the way through.
Yeah.
And deal with some adversity sometimes. And because when you're out in the work world, occasionally you're going to run into that. Something doesn't work right. And what do you need to do? Oh, let's work together and fix it. And they get to learn how to do this and not get fired for it.
Right. Jason, we were able to like walk around Cimarron and look at some of the CTE classes before we sat down and started talking. And one of the things that came up was just funding. And the change of this world is going so fast with industry. We talked a little bit about AI just coming in, and the tools and the industry standards are constantly moving. And so I think the funding is a big deal to this. And our district, our community has really supported our CTE programs, and just wanted to say one thank you to our community for supporting and understanding that we want to elevate and raise the bar for our students and continue to raise that bar because our students can do it. They can do it.
For sure. With that tour that you took me on just a little bit ago, wow, seeing them out and doing things out in the hallways and in the different classrooms and what they're coming up with and what they're building and making and how they're interacting with each other and working together and seeing kids all over the place, the multimedia kids with cameras in the hallways and things like that. nice cameras that back when I worked in the newspaper, we would have loved to have that kind of gear, you know. But
and then they take those cameras and sit down in front of a professional computer program like Final Cut Pro to where the professionals are doing that.
Right.
And here we have 7th and 8th graders, 12 and 13-year-olds learning how to use that professional software.
Right. Exactly. Wow. And to your point about the investment that takes, they wouldn't be able to keep pace and have modern technology and things. Think about a 3D printer from 15 years ago or whatever, some of those first models. They can't use those anymore.
Right.
They could maybe learn a little bit on them, but to take that and then apply it directly into things that are used in the marketplace, you've still got to keep pace. And so it's great that we have our community supporting that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And the administration and you with the vision of trying to keep fighting for let's find ways to improve things. And just getting it done. It's amazing to see that.
Yeah, and getting kids involved. We have such an involved community. Getting kids involved in this kind of stuff, outside the regular activities and athletics, like this is life-changing for some students. Like they'll take some of these courses and literally change the trajectory of their life. I was giving a tour to a potential teacher next year, an architecture and construction teacher, and he was talking about how in school it made such a big difference for him when he was in these construction and architecture class. He's like, I want to give back. Like this changed my life. And so it's really cool how in school with these CTE classes, it can change a student's life for good, for long term.
And to think about also the exposure to all these different types of careers. If you think about the statistics that say how many times people will change careers over the course of their life, here they're getting this exposure to all these other things. And at some point, maybe something clicks and they get into one thing and they decide they want to switch to something else. Now they've got a little bit of a background in this because it's something they might have done at a camp or in a class in middle school.
Yeah.
I mean, we're setting them up in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah. And think a lot of the money saved too.
Absolutely.
I changed my major. Like most kids change their majors when they go to college. And it's just so expensive to go to college right now that a lot of people can't afford that extra year or 2 years that they need to go to college just because they didn't know what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yep. My younger daughter, who graduated from college in 2024, she managed to get it done in 4 years, and she changed her major after her first semester. She found out at that first semester, I don't want to necessarily do what I thought I wanted to do. So she switched. But even in that, she had to take summer classes every summer from then on. Basically didn't get herself a break.
Yeah.
But she wanted to get done in 4 years, and she did it. But think about if somebody, after a year, after 3 semesters, after half their, they're done with their sophomore year in college, and they changed their mind. What are they going to do? I mean, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the field.
Or come to find out that maybe college isn't the pathway for them.
Right.
And that's okay. Like some of these industries don't require a college degree.
Right.
And we can start working with these students now to get some of those certifications. So when they're out of high school, they're going straight into the field that they want to go to further their education within the field. I was talking to one of our industry partners that we're looking at for our construction and architecture class, and he was talking about how they have like VR sets now. So they're building a hospital. They're going to bring the surgeon into the room without even being built, put on VR sets, and they tell the construction people exactly where to put things and move things around. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing.
And some of these don't take a college career to go out and get those careers.
No, exactly. I helped cover a job fair that at a school fairly recently, and was just talking to a gentleman that was there trying to help recruit kids into a plumber's apprentice program.
Yeah.
And he talked about 2 years out of high school, kids were making $80,000 and $90,000 a year as an apprentice.
Instead of $80,000 or $90,000 in debt.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. So there's a lot of opportunity here. So going back to the camp then, let's talk about the camp, because we could go on and on about the amazingness of the CTE program within the district and here within your school. But going back to the camp, because we want people to know about this, what do people need to do to register? And is there a limit and a deadline or anything like that?
Yep, we'll end up sending out communications. This registration is for middle school students, so 6th, 7th, and 8th graders going into next year. Registration deadline is May 1st. Now, the tricky part is we're only accepting 140 students this first year. So that is first come, first serve. So you're going to want to get that application in as soon as possible.
Right. Get going as quick as you can. Okay. And it's open to any middle schooler.
Yep, every middle school in Douglas County.
Douglas County. All right, great. Wow. So parents, jump on that as quick as you can.
Yes.
This is going to be, like you said, a life-changing type of a camp.
Yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah. And it's the first week right after school gets out, correct?
Yep, June 3rd through the 5th.
Okay. All right. So, you delay summer vacations just for a couple extra days.
That's right.
But holy cow, the payoff of this.
Yeah.
I can only imagine some kids coming home from this and telling their parents, like, just with stars in their eyes almost, of like, what did we get to do today?
And I'm going to throw a cherry on top here. Okay. So at the end of this camp, there is the director is going to be giving tours to the parents of Legacy Campus. So not only will students be there for 3 days, but at the end of that 3 days, the parents get to come in and see what those classrooms look like and what Douglas County is offering.
And that is an impressive tour. I've gotten to take that.
Super impressive.
Wow. Incredibly impressive. And then they get to have that seed planted in their mind of like, okay, here's what our kids can go do once they're in high school. What a great opportunity.
So cool.
Wow. And the extra work that you've had to do to put this in, like, thank you for doing that, first of all, I think, for everybody that's going to be involved in
this. And it's been a great partnership between Rex and Katie over at the Legacy Campus, also Leslie and Carrie, who's over Pathways and CTE in our district, and then me from a middle school standpoint. We've been meeting and really trying to get this vision for our students to come true in June.
This is going to be a really cool thing to see. All right, well, I can't say enough. Just anybody that's a middle school parent, get out there and get your kids registered. We'll have the links in the show notes for this so that you can jump into that and see all the resources, and I'll put links for the Legacy Campus so you can get an idea what that is if you're not familiar with that as well. And just to look at all the CTE options that we have in the school district that are available to our students. Jump in with both feet and try to do it quickly because space is limited.
Space is limited, and get out there and explore, get to know what Douglas County has to offer, especially as a parent, but also students. Students, if you're listening to this, try different things, explore, find your passion, and then once you know it, go after it.
The opportunities that you have in this school district are second to none.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Zimmerman, thank you so much for your time, for helping to put this together, and for letting us know about this so that people can get a head start on their careers and find their passion.
Yeah. Thanks for the conversation, and we'll see you guys in June.
Sounds good. Thanks for listening to DCSD Notebook from Douglas County School District, which serves more than 60,000 students, making it the third largest public school district in Colorado. To find out more, visit dcsdk12.org. And make sure to hit the follow button in your favorite podcast app so you can get every new episode, as well as Parent University once a month, where we hear from experts within the district and from the larger community talking about timely, relevant issues that parents face in our complex world. We're here to help you, so if you have a question and can't find the answer on our website, email communications@dcsdk12.org and we'll help point you in the right direction.